Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I've got something just a little bit different for you. Mike Tomlinson is a new client of mine, came in complaining with some serious attack angle issues. 3.5 degrees up across 6 degrees, and the club face was 7 degrees open to the path. Those of you that know your TrackMan numbers will know that this is a problem child if you're looking to create good compression on the golf ball and a nice drawn flight. When I met Mike, I politely asked him if he wouldn't mind me filming our first session and our second session. And I think you are in for a real treat, because this is a journey over the next hour or so that I believe you can take a lot of confidence from. A few tricks on how to improve attack angle, face orientation, shape of shot in the sky, all the ingredients that will make you the golfer you want to be. Stay tuned, enjoy it, get yourself a cup of tea. Let's get going. Well, the aircon is fully fired up, so if we need to drop it down a touch more, we can do. So let me run you through the data on the screen, and you've already. No, please, wherever suits, that's absolutely fine. So running from left to right on the screen here. So TrackMan measures many different variables. If I just click this button here, as you would have experienced through the fitting, we've got over 30 different variables. It makes it far too complicated to have all of these up at the same time. Yeah. We need to become very intimate with attack angle, yeah, which is what you've referenced already. The club path, which is the direction the head travels through strike, whether it's swinging to the left or swinging to the right of target. Negative is to the left, absolutely. What people would, in old-fashioned talk, outside in. Yeah. Makes sense to many. The face angle is whether the club face is pointing to the right of the target or to the left of the target.
And again, negative and positive.
Absolutely, positive is right, negative is left. And the box on the right here is the relationship the face has to the club path. The gap between the club path, which is swinging to the left, yeah, and the face that's arriving to the right. So the path is left 5 degrees, the face is right 2.2. The gap between the two is 7.2, which is this box on the right. The greater the value of that box, the more bend we will see in the sky. It's that simple. Okay. The positive value will increase the loft of the golf club. A negative value of the face to path will decrease the loft of the golf club. Okay. So if you have, there's a 4 degree difference between 6 iron and 7 and all your irons. So if you suddenly turn that face to path value into a -4, you've turned your 7 iron into a 6 iron. Yeah. That's why golfers invariably want to hit it with a draw, because you are making the club head have less loft. If it has less loft, it's going to go further.
Okay. Never knew it.
So.
Knew that's what they did, but didn't know why.
Yeah. Now, when we click this button here, it gives us an overview of all of the shots. Those were your 9 irons, and they were your 7 irons. So working from left to right, to give you an understanding or some values on where we would like you to be. 3.5 down, between 3.5 and 4.5 down would be our ideal. We're 3.5 up at the moment, so negative value means we're hitting down. So you referenced the fact that you weren't getting that down strike. 3.5 down. This face to path value and this attack angle are like positive and minus. The worse you are with the face to path value, invariably for someone where you're at with the game, you'll see a negative reaction with the attack angle. The attack angle is trying to help the face to path. The more the club face is open and bending the ball to the right, the more the club face will try to stop it, you'll try to close it. And what you do is, even though you're hitting the ball with bend, the attack angle, for however bad it is, if we made that attack angle better, as you are right now, you'd make your ball bend even further right. So if I put, and it's not quite 1 for 1, but if I put 4 degrees of attack angle on your attack angle, so you went from 3.5 to 4.5 down,
Yeah.
so if I made it 7 degrees different, I would make your face to path value 7 degrees worse.
Okay.
So it might look better here, but you'd end up with a worse golf shot. So what I need to do is create an environment that makes the attack angle better and the face to path value better.
Yeah.
Now what I'm going to have to do is affect the face to path value first, and with what I'm seeing, we might have a good chance of getting your attack angle better as well in the same stroke.
Okay.
Maybe, we'll see. But what we do need
Still
to
not
do.
quite sure what I was doing with Mark, other than he said try and shift your weight more
Yeah.
to your left
He was
foot, but he got me with
Yeah,
negative attack
he was
angle.
trying to get you to do all of the things that I'm going to get you to do, but I'm going to do it a slightly different way.
Yeah.
So the 3.5 attack angle that's positive is the weak link, but it's coming from the face to path value.
Okay.
Let's understand why that's happening. That's the important thing. The good thing with TrackMan, it gives us an opportunity to have that line in the sand.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are with our setup. Now, setup, because you're an able-bodied guy, even though you've got a couple of iffy shoulders, you are able to attain a setup that is very close to someone that's trying to play the game for a living. If you're loading the musculoskeletal system at the level that a golfer does when he pulls his driver out, you need to be prepared for it.
Yeah.
Because if you've got someone that's deadlifting 20 kilos or 150 kilos, you are going to prime your body for that loading sequence. So let me give you...
Most unfit I've been in about 5 years, which is not helpful either.
Well,
Probably about 2
yeah,
stone overweight.
that doesn't really affect
Right, okay.
forces, geometry, and the physics of how two colliding matters, club head and golf ball, are going to work with each other or not work with each other.
Yep.
So the setup from a down the line perspective, the image on the left hand side, I'm looking for the spine and the club shaft to be as close to 90 degrees to each other as possible. So where the red line is, that's the angle the shaft needs to be hanging off of your spine.
Okay.
So at the moment, we are this far out, which is a fair way.
Yeah.
Now what that change of orientation will do, will give you an opportunity to create more downstrike, almost immediately. And it'll actually change a lot about the balance of the golf swing as well, which I'll maybe come on to in a little while. The other thing that we need to be mindful of is that we are standing on 2 legs, and the top of the spine and the bottom of the spine, so here's the bottom, here's the top, these 2 points are the outermost points from the balance line through the middles of the feet. And so the bigger gap we have either side of that balance line will tell us that we're going to be off balance in that direction. So in this image on the left, you can see this is the greater gap. And so with a golf club that's trying to pull you in that direction as well, our body is going to have to make some corrections to stop us from falling on our nose. Now, you can't always get those gaps perfectly balanced up because people have got different arm lengths and torsos and leg lengths, but we can get it in a little bit better spot than that. That's what we're going to do from a down the line perspective.
Okay.
I don't expect you to remember any of this. I'm just giving you the explanation why I'm going to do it, and then I'll show you. And what happens is, it feels pretty major what I'm about to do, but let me tell you, it is between 8 and 12 shots, almost for absolutely everyone to go, how about that, Stuart? You nail it, because the first time I show you it, you'll go, are you having a laugh with me? Because it'll feel pretty horrendous. But honestly, when you then start to get the right strike, the brain goes, that felt odd, that felt great. I look for the odd feeling to give me the great feeling. And it rewires very, very quick. It's scary. 8 and 12. We'll do another test today. On the right-hand side, we're really looking for a width of stance that's shoulder width apart. Yours is nuts and bolts exactly in the right spot, got no issues with that. We need to see, for my money, the left arm and club shaft in one long line. The screen's just frozen there. We'll do that again. There we go. So we need to see a line between the left arm and the club shaft. And it's this line that's really going to change how the hold, the grip, is going to be placed on the club. At the moment, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to change that orientation first and see what happens. What I also want to do is to get your left hip a little bit closer and your left shoulder a little bit closer to your left ankle, which will give you a bit more pressure on your left leg. And it will feel like you're a bit cricket-like to start with. So what we'll do to start with, we're going to do the one on the left first, and then we'll do the one on the right. All right? Let's have a go. Lovely. And what I'll do is I'm just going to pull up a new set of tags. So these are all the shots you've hit so far. I just tag setup, click that, and it will now give us a different colour shot, and then we can go, this is what it was before, this is what it is now. Set yourself up to the golf ball. Perfect. Beautiful. So, what I'm now going to do, we'll push the golf ball a little bit further away from you. If you push the club head out, and then what I'm going to do, this will be a test of your flexibility to a degree. Good. So I'm looking for these 2 points to go further away from each other. Good, which pushes the handle down. Lovely. Now straighten your legs a little bit more for me. Don't lock them out, that's it, good. And then I'm just going to pull you into your backside a touch more. And then push you through the mid-back. There we go, good. A bit more down. That's it, great, super. Bit straighter with your legs. Excellent, excellent. That feels suitably hideous, I understand. Very good. Hold it there for me. And now have a little practice swing. Full practice swing. Hold it there for me 1 second. And away you go. Good job. Bit straighter with your legs. Handle a little lower. And a bit straighter through the mid-back if you can. Excellent, super. And away you go. And once you've set yourself up in that spot, you can just all let it hang out. I'm not looking for you to necessarily hold the posture from there. Hold it there for me. That's good, super. So backside out a touch more. Good. So just, there we go. That's fantastic. Super, super, good. A bit straighter with your legs, just a little straighter. Beautiful. And away you go for me.
Toe up a little bit, Stuart.
That's what it will feel like for sure. Handle a touch lower. Very good, very good. And away you go. Good job. Good job. Okay, I'm just going to show you what that looks like. Absolutely. So when I draw the line up through the spine here, can you see through the top of the spine, can you see how all of a sudden the gap between the head, back of the head, and that red line, see how much smaller it is? Yeah. So I've just got you a little bit straighter through the mid-back.
Should that head ideally be
no,
completely straight?
no, that's a young man's game. No, that's fine as it is there. We've got a fraction too much knee flex for my liking. Yeah. Just like to see that a little less. But now when I draw that line across the back and then a line through the club shaft, now this pitch in here, look where the shaft cuts through the back. Yeah. Much, much lower down. And then when I draw a line up through the middles of the feet, all of a sudden we've got the hip back of the center line, and we've got the shoulder forwards of the center line. So if I draw circles, hip, shoulder, poor drawing, now all of a sudden we can start to see how the circles are a little bit further apart from either side of the line, but going back to the analogy of the top and the bottom of the spine, start to see this balance ourselves up a little bit more. Really, it's the back of the heel line.
Yeah.
With that better, yeah, it feels like you're knuckle dragging, doesn't it? All right, have another go for me. Pop yourself back in that posture, and then what we'll do is we'll just now change that setup face on for me. Good. So we're going to go a bit straighter with the legs still. That's it, lovely, super. Then I'm going to move your left hip a touch further forwards. And then I'm going to put you into a cricketer position. That's what it feels like. Hold it there for me. Very good. 1 second. Very good. Okay. And now have a full practice swing for me. Good job. Hold. Yeah. That was great. Good. Hold it there. So handle a touch further forwards. Club hand. Yeah. Left hip a touch further forwards. There we go. Go on. Touch further forwards with the handle. Yeah, hold it there for me. And now when you make a practice swing, just strike the mat after where that golf ball is in front of you. Good man. Very good. So hip forwards, handle forwards. Yeah, hip forwards. Don't. Yeah, that's it. Good. So hold it there. So it feels like this part of the back and this part of the back are going in different directions, so it feels a little bit. You feel left shoulder back, yeah. Left hip forwards, yeah. And handle moves a little further forwards. Good. And then what you're going to do is just strike the ground after that golf ball there. That's majestic. Fantastic. Good. Full practice swing. See if you can get the ground after that ball. Handle a touch further forwards. Very good. Hip a bit further forwards. There we go, well done. Away you go. Good, okay. Let's pop the ball down. Let's give it a go.
Stop holding my breath while I'm gone.
Pressure's on. All good, all good.
So it feels exaggerated like...
Yeah, so let me...
Like
yeah, so...
I'm holding the club.
Yeah, I know. Feels nuts, right? Let me show you just before you. Look at the difference between the one on the left and the one on the right. Now see how the arm further forwards, yeah. Without drawing your attention to actually changing it, but your hold has now changed. Right, okay. Don't need to worry about that, but it has changed for the better. The left hip is now more forwards. Can you see on the left-hand side how this right hip has now sat in a different spot? Yeah. See how on the left-hand side it's sat through the middle of your foot. Now the right hip's sitting inside the foot. Arms are further forwards. Now you're a bit more primed for movement. And because of the way we've got you positioned to address here, it's just changed the pitch of your pelvis as well. Right hip is a little higher, whereas on the right-hand side, the left hip is a little higher, which is what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Let's hit some and see what the golf ball thinks. So go into that handle forwards as well. Hip further forwards. Good. Handle a touch further forwards. Hold it there for me. Hold it there. Well done. Do a bit straighter with your legs. Good. Super. 1 second. Lovely stuff. Lovely. Hold it there. Away you go. Very good. So, as I said, attack angle's gone from something crazy 3, 4, 5 up. And in doing that, look how I made your face to path value worse. The very first shot of a player. It always kind of, even at the start, you're like locked up. Because of the way you're orientated, I've now changed the DNA of the way your golf swing is going to behave because I've changed the start point. So you always see, sometimes you get lucky and it's like you rip it first time. But what I'd like to think is that we've moved your angle of attack 4 or 5 degrees in one shot, yet we have lost the face to path value by 4 or 5 degrees as well. So, like I said, we made this better, but we got this one worse. Yeah. I'm confident. Just hit some more for me. When you're doing that, yeah, just now put the handle where we're about to finish. Now put your hold on for me.
Okay.
Very good. Handle further forwards. Really good. Bit straighter with your legs. Good. Super. I'm just going to go touch further away. Good. Super. Hold it there for me. Very good. Handle a touch further forwards. Great stuff. I'm going to hold it there. Straighten that face up. That's good. Super. That's good. And away you go. Lovely. It's all right. Back of the ball. Ground, wasn't it? Ground first, yeah. All right. Handle a touch further forwards. There we go. Bit more forwards. Bit more. There we go. Now put it on. Yeah. Handle further forwards. So when you then get yourself in that spot, can you see how we want the face?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Super. Hold it there. Good. Brilliant. Super. Well done. Lovely. Superb. Shame TrackMan didn't get the data on that one because that would have shown some very nice numbers. But
oh, sorry, should I
no,
not have
no, 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 it wasn't your fault. TrackMan didn't pick up the data points.
I see.
But what you did there was excellent. So handle further forwards, push the handle further forwards, keep the club face straight. That's it, lovely. Now pop the grip on. Push the handle a bit further forwards. That's good. And we're going to make sure the club face stays straight. That's it, good. Hold it there, very good. And then we're going to go backside out a touch more. So backside out a touch more. There we go, super. Well done. Marvellous. Away you go. Beautiful. Now we're 2.4 down. And now, face to path has come down a little. 6. We've hit 4 shots. I predict by the 8th one, I predict exciting things.
If this starts to feel natural.
Yeah, 8 to 12. It might not feel natural, but you'll be able to set yourself up. Can you still see that I'm stepping in, I'm guiding you a little.
Oh, yeah,
it's taking it's just taking a little bit of front loading of the brain. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Handle a touch further forwards if you can. Lovely stuff. Still needs to go a touch further forwards, yeah, and then making that face straight. That's good, super.
I mean, always, your whole life, whenever you've had a day, should your head be straight down?
Absolutely.
I remember when I went on that thing those years ago,
Yeah.
I think I had my head lopsided to one way, so it made me overdo it the other way.
No, as you are. Good. Super. Super. Yep, super.
Just stopping a bit just to get the feel.
Yep, go on. Away you go.
memory.
No, you're all good. Oh, lovely strike. Bit right, that one. Good contact. So now we've gone from 5 up. Let's just remind ourselves. We're 3.5 up and 7 open. It's taken us 5 shots to now pull you 4.7 down. And your face to path value was 7 open, and that last one was 5.7 open. Now the club path is starting to improve. Standing to the golf ball is the most underrated change on the planet. You nail it, and I would say you will at least change 50% of errors from that. I could, without doubt, just coach setup to 95% of people. I'm talking at the best level in the world, and they would get an awful lot from it. It's so important. It's so important. It's like saying to a super weightlifter, having average technique, and then trying to load it and expecting to still be able to pull the bar.
Getting the foundation in place
Of
before
course it is. Of course it is. And what happens is actually just by getting yourself set right, it makes it so easy to change people around, which is why Sian get her set straight first, and now all of a sudden it's starting to blossom. Yeah, really great session today for her.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, no, it's a really great session.
It's really good.
After Mike's first session, you can see we just worked on the grip and some setup. Well, the grip was subtly done. I knew that if I could just corrupt the way Mike applied himself to putting the club down, it would adjust his grip without even talking about it. And you'll see a little bit more of that in the second half of this video. You'll see from a simple setup change, we were able to have an impact on an attack angle, a face to path, and a path line. Very, very simple. But listen, the gold is yet to come. You just wait and see how Mike gets on in the second half of this video. Enjoy. Show me some magic, as they say. Okay, yeah, please do, yeah, go ahead.
Strangely, something completely different with a brand new club.
Yes,
They look pretty, anyway.
yeah, they're lovely. They are lovely. In off the cush. Oh, nice shot there, nice strike, bit left, nice contact. Have you noticed the golf ball trying to go a little bit more left? Yeah, in general?
No, to be honest, the aim has been going really
Still going
straight.
right?
No,
It's been
it's going really straight.
Perfect, perfect. Straight works.
No, the practice.
Yeah.
And the shoulders coming out the same distance. If you just hit those, because they're actually in a really quite tight. This is
connection.
an odd one.
Yeah,
But
brilliant.
generally they've been going.
Brilliant, brilliant. No, you're just getting loosened up. That's all good. Mike, beautiful. Beautiful progress. Beautiful progress. Today is an exciting day. Have another go for me. Yeah, it's really good. I'll take the compliments and leave, please.
Standing a bit further away every time I set up, I'm shuffling back 2 inches. I'm almost doing this, having a hand
Okay.
a bit further away from the ball seems to be working for me. Not so it should.
Sure.
There's a bit of change happening. I think you moved the ball a couple of inches last time.
Sure. All right. So, you moving the ball further away, I would rather you have not done that. You have gone too far away from the ball, which I'll talk to you about in a moment. But I just want to bring up the data from last time. I'm just going to come and stand just around here. So last time, these were the shots last time. Your data points, as we talked about last time, TrackMan measures a lot of ingredients. The attack angle is something that really dictates how good someone strikes the golf ball. We were 3.5 degrees down.
Yeah.
At 3.5 degrees down, your club is ascending on the ball, it's hitting up on the golf ball. Today, we're now 1.6 degrees down. So I've moved that angle of attack from 3.5 degrees up to 1.6 degrees down. So 5 degrees. Yeah, 3 or 4 down. Yeah, but we've moved it 5 degrees. And I've not talked to you about hitting more down, have I? All I did was change your hold, change the way you stood to the golf ball. That's all we've done. And then you've gone away and hit golf balls with it. It's brilliant. Last time, your face to path value, which is the bend of the ball in the sky that we see, was open 7 degrees, which is why we see the ball bending to the right. Today, face to path value is 0. So your face is no longer open to your path. Well, it's 0.7 of a degree open to your path. The one that you hit off to the right there, it didn't get any data points for it, so I will ignore that one. And it didn't get the last one either, so we can ignore that. So of the shots that you hit, these were the ingredients. So we're 1 degree down and we're 0.7 open. Your path last time was 5.8 degrees outside in, or 5.7 should I say. Today it's 5.8, so it's done exactly the same. But look at where that face was pointing. It was 1.3 open before, and today it's now 5 degrees to the left. So a big dip, big change, and that's the setup. And that's why when I see someone apply themselves with the changes they've made, and then I see their first shot, it's like, fantastic, now we can move on. Okay. This is not about looking back or hopefully doing the same lesson again. It's about moving forwards each time. So we've really started to create an environment that allows me to start to make other changes that will be complemented by the changes we did last time.
Okay.
All right, so data really, really improved. So we'll come onto the screen here now, and I'll just show you where we're at with your setup. Sorry?
If something didn't feel the way it has been when I've been practicing, then I didn't feel like I was bringing it through onto this side as
Yep.
I was coming through.
Well, quite frankly, I'm glad about that because that's not how it works.
Okay.
So here we are at address, and we've now got a lovely straight line through the left arm and the club shaft.
Yeah.
If you switch on the TV, you will absolutely see this. So what you were explaining to me before, where it felt like your handle was a bit cricket bat-like, and you didn't really see that on TV, well, you need to show me which players you were looking at, because this is very much how golfers tend to set up. We might see the handle sometimes in line with the golf ball, or the handle and the head in line, but rarely. We will see the lion's share of tour players with the left arm and the club shaft all in one line. From a posture perspective, we've now got the spine angle at 90 degrees to the club shaft, spine and club shaft at 90 degrees, which is my preference. And from there, because you started to move yourself further away, your handle has become still not too bad underneath your shoulder, but what you have done is you've moved the top of your spine or your head too far away from the balance line. So you are, for my money, too top heavy.
Okay.
So I need to pull your chest back so that this handle is a little bit closer to you, not the end of the world. We can do that, that's a little tweak. Now, because of the way you've started to set up to the golf ball, when I asked you last time to push the handle forwards, what I didn't talk about was your grip. Your grip was a little bit weak, but because you had the handle a little bit back of the golf ball address, if not in line, it made your grip weak. I knew that if I just got you shifting the handle forwards and grip and putting the club shaft in this orientation, it would change the way you held the golf club. That's why the grip, relative to last time, is a little different as well, which is one of the big components of why your ball has less slice on it now. That allows me to do some other things in the backswing. Now in your world, and maybe the instruction that you've had before back in the day, as we move off the golf ball, and the reason why I say that is because of how you've talked about moving through, and I know Mark inspired you to move forwards. As we make a backswing, what we don't want to see, for me, is a left hip that moves away from the left ankle. So that line that I've drawn up through your left ankle there, I would like to see your left hip still on it. At the moment, your left hip has moved off of it. This means that as you swing down, you absolutely have to move forwards. And you can see that you thought you weren't moving forwards and you 100% are. But because of where you started from at the top of your backswing, you've made your life more difficult. Now what happens when you make a backswing and the spine and the pelvis moves too much to the right, this left hip drops down, and it will, even though you're doing a really good job, it will compromise your shoulder rotation. And in doing that, it makes your arm plane very high, makes your arm pitch very high. I would like to see your arm too vertical, absolutely. It goes, or it becomes too vertical when a golfer moves too laterally in a backswing, because if you're moving laterally, the pelvis is moving sideways, so why would there ever be an encouragement for the club to move around you? When the club moves around you and starts to swing a little bit flatter in a backswing, what that does when the club is coming into the golf ball, it will arrive more from the inside. And when you had the old grip and open face, it would have made you hit the golf ball even further right, which is why you would not have done it. So with the grip that you had and the setup that you had, they were the cornerstones of your building, and then you built your game around that. So what I've done is I've gone straight to the source. I've changed the way you hold the golf club, which was sorting out where the face points when you strike it. And then with the posture, it started to help us get a little bit more angle of attack. So our job now is twofold. I'm going to get you slightly closer to the golf ball. And I now want to start to change the way that left hip, that left foot works in the backswing. Because at the moment, you may as well be standing on one leg, because that right foot has got all of the pressure, hasn't it? We can see that left foot kicked up and off the ground. I'd like to see a bit more pressure into the left foot. All right, so here's how we're going to do it. We're going to use this little Swiss ball here, and we're going to get you to, excuse me, we're going to get you to set up in your posture. And when we're in our posture now, we'll just get the handle a little bit closer to you. We don't really want to see it too far away. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make some back swings, and as you make some back swings, you're going to keep the Swiss ball propped up against the wall, and you're going to roll the Swiss ball along the wall. And as you do that, what will happen is it will make you feel like the Swiss ball is making you turn a little bit more, a little bit flatter, and it'll encourage you to feel like the club wants to swing a bit more inside. Allow that to happen. Don't fight it, because it will feel a little foreign, because it will feel like you'll want to go off the Swiss ball and the arms will want to go up. Well, I'm going to get you to use the right foot to push into the Swiss ball, roll it down the wall, and as you do that, the arms will feel like they're going to come around you. Super. Very nice, Mike. Good. Couldn't have asked for better application and progress, Mike. So really super work done. Hold it there for me. Hold it there. That's right, that's right. Super. So we're just going to pull the handle a touch closer to you. Let's get you to stand a little bit taller. There we go, super, good. Now just we're going to go back swing and stop only for me. Hold it there, good. So we're going to still roll the Swiss ball a bit more, which makes you feel like the club swings around you a bit more. Very good. Excellent. Up. And again. Good. Hold it there for me. Well done. Back to the start. So I'm going to put this club here, and as you go back, I want you to swing the handle underneath it for me slowly. Yeah, yeah. So the handle, yeah, it's going to come underneath it. There we go. Beautiful. And again. Good. Well done, Mike. Good job. Nope. That last little bit was you putting it back into the same spot that you're used to feeling. Hold it there, don't move, don't move. So as you keep rolling the Swiss ball around, that's how you get the golf club further back. Yeah? Perfect, good. Back to the start.
Is this?
Good. So we're just going to pull the handle back a touch. We're only going to lean into the Swiss ball with your lower half. That's it, good, super. And then roll the Swiss ball. Very good, Mike. Super. Super. That's the way, Mike. Good. 1 second, 1 second. Good. So still a little bit closer. That's good. Lovely. Good. Hold it there. Super stuff. Now what I want you to do is imagine this is the Swiss ball, and now just make a backswing and stop. Don't hit it. Very good. Back to the start. And away you go. Good job. Good job.
Feels almost like.
Yep.
So it feels
Yeah, it feels really, yeah, absolutely.
doesn't feel like it's up at all.
Yeah, exactly. Done there. Excellent, Mike, excellent. Hold it there for me. Now make a backswing and stop again. Pushing into the cup. That's it, super, well done. Hold it there. And once more. Very good, lovely. And away you go. Good job. So now, so the reason why you're topping it is because the arm height, where your arms were super high before, I've just made them more shallow. Because someone has a super high arms, that was one of the ingredients that really helped the golfer hit the floor. Now I've made it flatter. Now you're going to have to put in a little bit more down. So what I want you to do now is make some practice swings, doing exactly the same, but all you're going to do is just hit the floor for me on the way through. Good. So, back and stop. Hold it there. Now hit the floor. Lovely. Good job. Just a little bit closer to you with the handle. Bring the handle closer to you, Mike. Yep, perfect. Lovely stuff. And backswing and stop, and then hit the floor. Lovely. Very good. Excellent. Lovely. Good. Back and stop. Good. And hit the floor. Lovely. No, that's good. That's good. I made no requirement of where to hit the floor. I just wanted you to hit the floor. Lovely. Good stuff.
Okay.
Lovely stuff. Good. Let's go back and stop again. Good, Mike. Back to the start. Same again. Back and stop. Good. Back to the start. And away you go. Very good. So caught the ground on that one, which was great. Just caught it a little bit out the heel of the golf club. Yeah, no, you're all good. You're all good. Very good, Mike. Back to the start. Back and stop. Very good. Back to the start. Hold it there for me. And away you go. Lovely. Good job. Super. Super. When you're moving someone around the golf ball, I've effectively moved your body and kept it more centered, and that's moved the golf club lower and more around you. I've moved all three planes significantly of movement. Yeah, pleasure. All part of the service. And so is it any wonder why you might lose contact? The message though is clear. We keep doing the same thing and allow the brain to start to catch up and work out where it is in space. And so all I did on that last one is I just put that box of tissues on the outside of your golf ball, because the one before you made exactly the same move, but the club arrived slightly too far away from you. Because all of a sudden, I've changed your world, I've changed your setup, which you've done last time, but today I've really changed the way you're moving and the club's moving, which arguably is a more difficult change than a setup. Setup is high impact. What we're doing is high impact, but when you start changing how someone's moving and then you still ask them to hit something, that's quite taxing, and that's why at this moment in time, there's going to be no other changes. I'm just going to keep on asking you to do the same thing and acquire the skill. And as you acquire the skill, what will start to happen is the golf ball will start to improve. Golfers are very quick to think that one change, I should light the ball up immediately. Now it should light up very quickly. We've only hit 10 shots today. 6 of those were warming up. So we're only 4 or 5 shots in with this different movement. So we've got 3 or 4 more shots before I would expect to start to see some real differences. But remember, you're a guy that's come from being 3.5 degrees up, which arguably is the most up I've seen of anyone for a significant amount of time. And for that, you then had a significantly open face. Both of those two ingredients tell me how much your golf club is active through strike to try to make it go straight. And so we've got a big job on our hands, but when I mean big job on our hands, we've got a lot to change in terms of dynamics, but it's so easy to change it. And so when I'm changing you today, I was anticipating some iffy strikes along the way, but only 5, 6, 7 shots maybe, until you really start to, well, you're 5 shots in and you've now, the path is the best it's been, at only 4 across where we had it at 5.8. Your angle of attack has lessened slightly, but it's 0 or 0.4 up, and you were 3.4 up, and your face to path value is dead straight. So if we were to look at all of the ingredients, this has improved, this has improved, and this has improved. And of course this one has. So we've improved every single box. We're now starting to get the movement correct. And now we've found the face a bit more. Great, so you're doing super well. The part for me probably that's important is that Mike switches off the Mike school of golf. It almost becomes, just do as I ask.
The hardest thing is, Mark may or may not say, is that when you've got to a point, even though it was years ago, and then you've dusted it off, and you've actually thought, you know what, this is actually going really quite, when we were on the road range in Mallorca, it was actually said to Sharon, you know what, I'd happily go on now. It was really
hitting it nicely.
And so it's very difficult to deconstruct it all, to put it back together when there was a bit of you thinking it didn't fit. I was hoping against hope that you turn up and don't get me wrong, this is what you're here to do, but you turn up and say, oh, it's all quite good, because Mark probably said too much positive. He said, you got a really good swing, you're getting really good figures, you're getting really really accurate. I mean, I was literally ending up on the line every time. It was going a bit left and a bit right, other than the driver. So I guess the big psychological thing I've got to come to get to terms with, which is why I'm here, is to know that even though it was kind of doing all right there, it wasn't, you're not doing it right here to get consistency, and so if it started going wrong, you couldn't do that all the time. I was hoping I'd come and you'd be, the trouble is, tweak is it's not my bag. That the reason why I say that is because there's one thing hitting it off of a mat in a studio, hitting it down the fairway. The other is hitting it on grass off different lies with more than just a 7-iron. The data points say that won't work on the grass. Whilst you hit it nicely on the mat in Mallorca, and whilst you hit on the mat here, get out on the golf course, it'll be a different story. Let's crack on. Oh, don't take that as a
no, not at all,
so
not at all, not at all. Yeah, sure. Sure. I disagree with that you'll have to go a long way back to go forwards. I think you're 300 or 400 balls away from being significantly better than you were. But unfortunately, people don't know what good ball striking is until they've got it. Yeah. That's great, good. So back and stop. Back and stop. More into the Swiss ball. Back and stop into the Swiss ball. Very good. Back to the start. Back and stop into the Swiss ball. Very good, Mike. Well done. Super. And away you go. So you can see the box of tissues there got hit at purely because the club is now approaching from back here rather than your golf club was approaching from up here. And so when it approaches from back here, it tries to swing itself out to the golf ball, which is what we want. When your club is up here, it's trying to drive itself into the floor, which is inefficient because we're trying to move around and your golf club's trying to swing up and down. So what we'll do on this one, set yourself up to that golf ball. Yeah, lovely. Mike, good. So now make a backswing and stop for me into the Swiss ball. Very good, once more. Push in here. A bit more over here. In the backswing, push into here. That's it, good, super. Now backswing and stop, yep, well done, good. Now full practice swing for me. Hit the ground just inside the ball. And again. Very good, super. That's it, that's it. Lovely. Wonderful, Mike. So backswing and stop for me. Very good. Back to the start. Yep. And away you go. Well done. Good. Super. So now for the first time, we can see that the club path has now come back to dead straight, not 5.8 outside in. We've lost a little bit of angle of attack because your instinct is to hit up, but we can attack that in a moment. And we've now got a face to path value that's now negative. We've gone from 7 degrees open to now 9 degrees closed. So we've now started to see a bend in the sky that is very different to the one that you're used to seeing, which was the left to righter. Yeah? Have another go. That was excellent. Excellent. Back and stop. Very good, Mike. Back to the start. And away you go. Good job. Good job. Very nice. So now on that one, have we got the straight path again? Have we got a slightly better angle of attack? And we still kept the negative face to path. Beautiful. And again. Now make a backswing and stop for me. A bit more over here. Hold it there. Now hit the ground anywhere left of this. Good job. And again. Super. Back and stop. Good, and go. Good man. Excellent, Mike. Super. Super stuff. Good. Back and stop. More over here. More over here. Back and stop. Good. Back to the start. Back to the start. That's it. And away you go. Nice shot. So again, path is straight. Path is straight. Actually inside out. 0.6. Yeah. Angle of attack 2.2 up. Don't need to worry about that just yet. Face to path value minus 6.8. You keep doing what you're doing. You keep doing what you're doing. Excellent job. Absolutely was. 0.4 up from the inside 1.2. So remember, we were outside in 5.8. We're now inside 1.2. You were open face to path 7 degrees. You're now shut 13. Now, here's the thing. Whenever I make a golfer's face to path value more negative, i.e. the ball starts bending to the left, I can always make an impact on the attack angle and the club path. If I don't have the face to path value negative, I can't do it. So the fact that you're now missing the target more left now allows me to add in the attack angle, because when you add in attack angle, you open up the club face. But when you had a club face that was open already, if I'd have added in attack angle, it would have made the golf ball go more right. It's really, really important to understand that. So when I put this back...
Like a grown-up, aren't you?
Say again?
You're like a grown-up with this stuff.
Almost, almost.
I'm not a grown-up.
So when you're thinking about angle of attack, the descending nature of the golf club on the golf ball will make the face point more right. When I've got that backboard in place now, the Swiss ball that made you feel your lower half moves to the left, which is what it's feeling like, will now make you feel like you can hit the ground to the left of the golf ball, i.e. missing that backboard. And in doing that, if I may just demonstrate this for you, borrow the golf club. In doing that, by moving the pressure into the Swiss ball and now hitting the ground after that backboard, that's going to create more downstrike 9.2. Now, if I did that with our old setup and I created off the ball, elevated, and I got you to hit more down, I would swipe across the back of the ball and I would start to hit the ball off to the right, which is why you didn't do it. Because the more you hit down, the more it would have gone to the right, the more you'd have swiped across it, but you found a way. And that finding a way was hitting up at 3.5 degrees, which won't work with an iron off the grass on the golf course.
Yeah.
But now, because of what we've now got with our setup and the hold, and now starting to feel different movement with our feet and our lower half into the Swiss ball, we can now start to get the golf club to descend on the ball, get the angle of attack with a blend of the face angle, and we start to hit it straight. So now when you set up to the golf ball, to this space here, think about the pressure that the Swiss ball is giving you to the left of that backboard, so that when you pull the golf club down, you can now hit the ground after it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so almost pressuring against it.
On the way back,
Yeah.
not on the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Swiss ball on the way back, very good, and go. Lovely. So now, we pop a ball in the way. Very good. And away you go. It's not bad, is it? Well done. Almost like I've done it before. Good. Back to the start. Back and stop. Very good. Lovely. And away you go. So can you see, you move off the Swiss ball, you swing the head, and you knock 7 bells out of the backboard.
Yeah.
Can you now appreciate that that won't work on the golf course? And swing through. Very good. Very good. No, very good. Very good. And again. Yep. And through. Perfect. Perfect. Nicely done. Lovely. Excellent. Back and stop. Very good. Super. and away you go. Good job. So, the first time, we've now got down, we've now got straight, and we've now got face to path close. You didn't quite get pure contact, but as a set of ingredients, we've gone from being outside in 5.7, up at 3.5 and open at 7 degrees, to now having 1.4 down, dead straight path and a face to path that's closed. As a set of ingredients of all of the shots you've hit, we're now starting to see the attack angle that's gone from 3.5 up to 1.3 down. Club path from 5.7 outside in to now 3.4 outside in, and a face to path value of 7 degrees open to a face to path value of now 2.5 degrees shut. And it's that face to path value that we see down the left hand side here that's starting to go. Look, we had 4 open, 5 shut, 2 open, 2 open, and now all of a sudden we're starting to see shut, shut, straight, degree open, a degree closed. So you can see the gesturing, the performance is flicking to the other side, but the message has been clear. Pressure into the Swiss ball, which pulls the arms around you. Then I've just made you aware of where the interaction of the ground occurs. It occurs after the ball. And when you go back and then you try to place the club behind the ball, to be quite honest, that's faulty because it's happening too quick. Just trust in yourself that where you're being positioned, that you will find the golf ball in the right manner. You don't need to feel like you're placing it behind the ball. It all happens too fast. It's like Roger Federer trying to practice placing the racket behind the ball. It just happens in a blink of an eye. The whole point of this is that the ball's not moving, we're not moving off the spot. I'm getting you to move around it so that the club collides with it, whether you like it or not, rather than you trying to feel like you've got to perfectly place it. Have another go. Really good, Mike, really good. So 2.6 down now, 3.8 across it. The across it is coming from the fact that the arms are not matching the roll of the Swiss ball. The arms are still trying to lift themselves up. But that's the least of my worries. The extremities, the arms are always a symptom of something else. And so I'm not really too concerned about that. I'm more interested in making sure that you're moving around the Swiss ball, because the arms will start to move back inside. It makes sense, doesn't it? As you're moving around the ball, the arms are coming in. The two ingredients that I've really wanted to make a dent in today was that attack angle and that face to path, which is exactly what I have done. And you really felt on that one, that really felt like a super crunch strike, didn't it? Very good. And again. Good. So, Swiss ball, back and stop. Very good. Back to the start. Excellent. Back and stop into the Swiss ball. Good man. Yeah, no, that was good. That was good. That was me being ultra critical. Super. And away you go for me. Oh, well done. A little bit left that one. Excellent, excellent. So again, look at the attack angle, look at the club path, look at the face to path value. We've flicked the other side of the coin. As I say, when it comes to longer golf clubs, this will be meteorically different, but it's going to now suddenly look all of a sudden very different in the ball flight that we see in the sky. Let me show you how we've done that in the session. Really, really good changes there, Mike. How's that feel? A bit different?
Yeah.
Bit different?
Yeah. It's going to take some
bit of application. Anything worth having never came easy. Well, it is easy. It is easy. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think everyone's happy to work at it when you start to see some real performance gains, and hopefully you've felt a bit of that today. Yeah. Yes, definitely a little bit of voodoo. So before and after here, on the right hand side is the new one, the left hand side is the old one. When we moved ourselves to the top, we talked about how this left hip really needed to be a little bit more in line with the left ankle. Now, when we're at the top,
You're going way too far over with the club.
it's the last thing you need to worry about. At this point in the game, you can see how the left hip is now more in line with the left ankle. And by virtue of the gap between, just 1 second, Mike. Yeah, just 1 second, Mike. The gap between the club shaft and your head, can you see how the gap is now much smaller?
Yes.
So the club, well, it doesn't feel subtle, does it? It feels considerable. I would say that's a decent amount of arm plane change and hip action. And so with those two ingredients, as you start to come down into the golf ball, at this point, we now start to see the handle and the shaft in a different orientation. Can you see how the shaft on the left is more vertical? The shaft on the right is more lent to the right hand side. And in doing that, this is what creates a bit more angle of attack. The hip is opening up nicely, pressure is on the left leg, and as we start to move you through, we start to see the chest open up, and we're looking to see how these arms will start to react, and they will start to react a little differently. But fundamentally, the key drill for us to apply is the Swiss ball. Now look at the height your arms are at compared to where they were when we started. You see, so we're now starting to get you to move around the golf ball rather than along and up, which causes those.
Things look and how they feel. I'd almost say it felt like that to that.
Absolutely, absolutely. But really great drill with the Swiss ball. Obviously, you would have seen Sean doing a little bit of that. Sean doing a bit of that. So that's where the changes are. And just be diligent. Don't get too many golf balls without the Swiss ball. Make sure you're doing 2 or 3 shots, then a couple with the Swiss ball, just because it's easy to go back into your default and you'll start to see it in the sky. But really great changes. Attack angle, better path, and face the path is all lined back up. Smug face, good coaching, you know it. Mike left with an improved attack angle, good club path, and a ball that bends right to left in the air. The third session's coming up with Mike over the next week or so, and with his blessing, I hope I can film that too and just show you the finished article. To take a guy from 3.5 degrees up, across and a slice, to being a couple of degrees down with those path and face to path numbers, I think is probably beyond the expectations of most club golfers or most golfers out there of what's possible, because I am pretty confident that most golfers have battled with attack angle, path lines, or face path, or slices in the sky during their golfing career. Simple application of the fundamentals and understanding how we move as humans is crucial to good coaching. I think you'll find that the game is much, much easier than you might believe it to be. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I know I did. Enjoy sharing it with you. Thanks for being a part of my channel. Do hit the like, share and subscribe while you're here, and I look forward to seeing you next time.